Hi, my name is Monica Peraz, and this is my presentation on Okapia johnstoni, or the okapi. Before we get started, here's some background information on the okapi. They're closely related to giraffes and are native to the Democratic Republic of Congo, which is an African country pointed out by the red arrow on the map to the right. The okapi are actually an important symbol to the people of the Democratic Republic of Congo, and they even appear on their money there. Here are some characteristics of the okapi. Okapis are herbivores. They have a body that resembles a giraffe, but with a much shorter neck. The bottom half of the okapi actually resembles that of a zebra, though they are not very closely related to zebras at all. Okapi were thought to have evolved this patterning on their backs in order to help lead their young through the dense forest habitats that they live in. Since these forests are so dense and hard to see through, it's important that young could follow their mothers, and they did so with the patterning on the okapi's back. The okapi are very elusive animals. They're very wary of prey, of predators as well as humans. So much so that no clear picture of one in the wild has been taken until 2008, which is pretty recent. The okapi are an endangered species as of 2013. There are only 10,000 of them left in the wild. Numbers are down due to a number of reasons, such as poaching, mostly for their pelts, hunting, which occurs in some villages in the Democratic Republic of Congo for meat, habitat fragmentation, and deforestation both are due to human expansion into their habitats, and lack of conservation efforts due to political unrest in the area. Fossils of the okapi are also almost impossible to find for study because of their habitat of very dense forests, which are not conducive to the fossilization process. Methods. The fauna surrounding the Democratic Republic of Congo is understudied, including the okapi, who have only had one other extensive study done on them. The goals from the paper I used in this presentation include learning about the evolutionary history of the okapi and learning about the genetic structure of the okapi. Little is known about either, and so the scientists in this study sought out to remedy that. In order to study okapi DNA, scientists gathered samples including droppings and feces from the surrounding areas, skin samples obtained from museums, clippings of dried skin from artifacts from villages in the Democratic Republic of Congo. These villages and the surrounding areas are marked by gray in the picture in the next slide. Scientists analyzed the DNA from these samples and separated them into groups called haplogroups. Each group was put together based on the common genetic divergence point that they all shared. Scientists also compare the phylogenetic tree generated from these results to that of several other fauna related and endemic to the region, such as the giraffe, the duiker, and the bushbuck. In this figure, you can see to the left a map of the area studied, with the areas in gray being the villages where scientists had picked up their samples from artifacts from those villages. To the right, you see the different haplogroups made into a network visual, separated by color and by letter, and relationships are shown with the dotted lines. Results. From the DNA sequencing, scientists distinguished 6 different groups of okapi. These 6 groups were analyzed by the area that the samples they originated from were found in. Some groups were confined to one side of the river only, one or the other, while other groups were found on both sides of the river. This indicated the Okapi's historically large range. Scientists also found that there were 10 different divergence events in the Okapi phylogeny between these groups. 6 of these divergences were estimated to have happened more than 1 million years ago. From the DNA sequencing of these samples, scientists were also able to generate a phylogenetic tree for the Okapi. The results from comparing the Okapi's phylogenetic tree to that of other fauna who have already had studies done on them and already had phylogenetic trees from the region were that the Okapi lineage predates the emergence of many bushbuck and duiker subspecies. Discussion and conclusion. From this study, scientists were able to learn that the Okapi has a deep and ancient evolutionary history. The Okapi diverged from the giraffe about 1.7 million years ago, as gleaned from this study. The Okapi genetic line is older than predicted. They were thought to have been a species that diverged later, which would have explained why there's not much genetic diversity within the genus. However, it's now known that this is not the case, and that in fact the Okapi are very genetically diverse, historically speaking. It's the dwindling of their population and their status as an endangered species that has caused this decline in diversity. Study and conservation on the Okapi can help promote awareness to the understudied yet diverse and rich fauna of the Democratic Republic of Congo and the Congo River Basin. Thank you for watching this presentation on Okapia johnstoni.